Welcome back to another Foe on the Fights, where I talk about the latest UFC news. I'm going to go over a couple topics going on, making the rounds in the MMA world right now. Starting with John Jones versus Israel Adesanya is in the headlines again. I think what we saw with Izzy against John Blachowicz at light heavyweight tells us everything we need to know about a potential Jones-Izzy fight. I think Jones easily, his size and well-roundedness, specifically his wrestling ability, easily gets him the victory over Izzy if that fight was ever to happen. And then we have Khabib. He tells Gamrot after the win over Sarukian on his last fight, he tells him congratulations. He thinks he's a nice guy, and he for sure in the future thinks he'll fight Islam in the future. And I think that would be an awesome fight because the two of them are extremely high-level technical grapplers. But Gamrot wants Justin Gaethje. All the wrestlers have been calling out pure strikers lately. I mean, it's pretty plain and obvious that they think they can get an easy win. Dana White shuts down the possibility of a rematch with Mayweather and McGregor. I agree with him there. Nobody really wants to see that shit. And then another grappler calling out a pure striker, Sean Brady, and Wonderboy. Wonderboy says no to Sean Brady call out. He's late in his career, and the last thing he wants is to get wrestle fucked by another young fucking grappling heavy fighter. He just wants to have fun, be able to show his skills and shit and his technique, you know what I'm saying? And Holland, on the other hand, he's got a heavy striking style, similar to Thompson. He called out Sean Brady, which was surprising after his latest win over Tim Means. I think that's a super risky fight for Holland. But shit, if he wants it, I'd love to see it. And I think he definitely gives Brady problems if it stays on the feet. But that's the big if right there because Sean Brady is a monster on the ground. And also, Wonderboy was called out recently by another grappling heavy combat sambo champion who absolutely destroyed Neil Magny, Shavkat Rachmanov. He called out Wonderboy too. And Wonderboy wants no part of that one either. You can watch his YouTube channel. He even talks about it. His response is he's just tired of being taken down. And he's tired of fighting wrestlers. And he's interested, and he thinks it makes sense, in fighting Masvidal or Nate, two other striking heavy guys that are up in their career. And I don't blame him for that. I don't blame him for turning down Sean Brady or Shavkat Rachmanov. I mean, they're just dangerous fights. And they're easy wins for grappling heavy wrestlers. Like, Wonderboy's not stupid. He's not trying to be another stepping stone for these young up-and-comers. And he wants to show what he can do. And he, of course, his best chance of doing that is against someone who's more on his age level and his stylistic, striking. He wants to have a fun fight for the fans. And he thinks that Sean Brady or Shavkat Rachmanov would be just a snooze fest with him getting wrestle fucked like pretty much what happened with Gilbert Burns and Bilal Muhammad. Boring, boring, boring fights. Nobody wants to see that. When you see Stephen Thompson, you're expecting a beautiful striking display. And if he gets taken down and can't get back up, it's just going to be boring as fuck. And here's a side note. This isn't MMA, but Tommy Fury fumbles the bag again. He's scared to fight Jake Paul. That's what I think. And as crazy as that may sound, it makes sense. He's got a big name, a perfect record, padded as fuck. He's only fought fucking guys who should not even have professional boxing careers. Pretty much tomato cans brought in to pad his record. But I honestly, think him and his team are bringing out every excuse in the book to prevent this fight from going down. I'd like to see it, though. Better than Ben Askren or fucking Tyron Woodley, even though Woodley could have won if he had more self-belief and bit down and actually threw some punches rather than tried to clinch the whole fucking time. That shit was so annoying. God damn it. But I'd like to see it, though. And I think Jake Paul's probably the favorite in that one because at least he'd be facing a supposed professional boxer. So, for the first time, so that would be interesting. And if he can get that win, I think he needs to step up and fight Anderson Silva and stop being a little biatch. I know I'm a hardcore MMA, so I'd like to see Jake Paul lose. I'm not a hater. I just think he's a cocky piece of shit who talks a lot of trash and doesn't back it up. He fights guys half his size who have no striking skill and who are MMA fighters. And he wants to box them to show how good he is. Which, don't get me wrong, the guy's got skills. He's a good boxer. But, yeah, fight someone your own size. The classic saying, fight someone your own size. Pick on someone your own size. Stop fucking being a bully to these old-ass washed-up MMA guys. And if you do want to fight a washed-up MMA guy, at least fight one who can box, like Anderson Silva. That's the perfect fight for Jake Paul, I think. And Anderson. He's won 2 boxing fights in a row since he retired against Julio Cesar Chavez and Tito Ortiz, who had no business boxing because he's just got no skill whatsoever when it comes to boxing. He was a well-rounded mixed martial arts fighter, Tito Ortiz, with the personality, spirit animal of Luke Rockhold. The guys can't string sentences together without fucking saying something dumb. I'll never forget that clip of Tito Ortiz saying, "Of course I want to outlive my children." Every parent wants to outlive their children, right? And then we have Tyson Fury versus Ngannou still brewing. Fury says, "Wembley Stadium, you big dossa," in 2022. Ngannou says, "Don't worry, I have not taken my eyes out of you." And I don't know why he won't just agree if he's ready to go. I don't know. Probably because he's still champion in the UFC and he wants to defend that title, make that money, and cement his legacy as a mixed martial artist. But I'd like to see that one in the future, even though it's a big, Tyson Fury is the favorite, of course, because he's a massive monster with excellent boxing skill, and Francis Ngannou is a monster. Not as tall, though, but probably has more power, definitely has more power, but not as skilled with the boxing, with the sweet science, as they call it. Check out Teddy Atlas, too. He's got some good takes on MMA stuff now. He's a boxing analyst, if you don't know. He was under Cus D'Amato, trained Tyson a little bit, I think, after Cus died. But anyway, we're on to the last topic here. Israel Adesanya says no to the Whitaker trilogy. He was asked for what his thoughts on a possible trilogy with Robert Whitaker. I kind of don't blame him, but I'll always ride with the Reaper, Robert Whitaker. I think Izzy potentially makes Jared Cannonier fight look easy. That's what he's been saying. He just wants to show off. I just want to show off. I don't care about the belts, anything. I just want to show off. I want to use every technique. I don't want to leave no stone unturned. Izzy's got swag. He's got style. He's feeling himself. I think he's probably going to get this win. But I just hope to see a competitive fight. And don't get me wrong, Jared Cannonier is a straight beast. And he's super dangerous. This guy packs fucking real power. I mean, just from that one kick to Anderson Silva, finishing him with it, that was ridiculous. That just shows how strong this motherfucker is. He was a heavyweight knocking people out. And he just evolved as he devolved in size. He shrank down. He got ripped as fuck. He started knocking motherfuckers out. And now he's at the top of the middleweight division. Even though he just lost to Bobby Knuckles, he's getting the next shot. And I'm looking forward to it. It's going to be an awesome pay-per-view. Stay tuned later on in the week for my picks video. I'm going to do my research and shit. Last week was a kind of a rushed one. I think I went 8-4, so not my best. Not my worst, though. But anyway, I think Jared Cannonier's best chance is if he wrestled and used his physicality. He would have a decent shot at beating Israel Adesanya. I think if he decides to stand with Izzy, it could be over rather quickly. I think Jared's best chance in becoming champion is to display a full range of MMA techniques. That's the only way to beat the sensational striker-heavy Izzy, who has good takedown defense. But like I said, Jared's a monster. The dude's strong as fuck. And if Jan could take Izzy down and control him, I think Jared could do it too. And I think Jared could land some real damage. That's the one thing Jan didn't do. He got the win, so that counts for something. But he didn't land much ground and pound. He was kind of just hugging, stalling. You know what I mean? Just letting the clock burn, which was pretty boring. But it was cool to see Jan piece up Izzy on the feet as well, because we didn't expect that. We thought Izzy was going to have his way with him, stay on the outside, kicks, punches. But he didn't throw many kicks from my memory because he was scared to get taken down, which eventually he was taken down anyway, so it didn't matter. So yeah, that's going to be a great one, and I could keep going for days on that fight. Izzy versus Cannonier, Jared Cannonier, Soul Brother Jared, as DC likes to call him. He likes crystals and shit like that, which I appreciate. I'm not into all that shit, but I did have a Wiccan phase where I wanted to get into it, and it just seemed too fake and baloney for me to really stay in it. I got into it after. Okay, that's not important. This is MMA review, and that's not anything to do with that. So I'm going to wrap it up there. This was the UFC news update on Foeonthefights. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Let me know in the comments what you think about all the news going on and the upcoming fight card. And who do you think is going to win, Izzy or Jared Cannonier? Let me know. Like and subscribe, comment below. I love to engage with the viewers. I'm not going to call you guys fans, but subscribers are going up, and that's cool. I appreciate it so much. Hope it keeps rising because I'm going to keep doing this shit because it's my passion. I'm a hardcore MMA fan, and I watch a fucking load of movies and TV, and I got a crazy past with stories that might make you laugh. So I'm gonna stop rapping cause I ain't a rapper, but if I was, I'd go to sleep cause I wanna be a napper, but I get no Z's. Let me stop. Jeez, that was horrible. Peace.